right, so made it to Orlando for Megacon. Just waiting for a cab. This is going to be in Megacon extravaganza. It's going to be a lot of fun. 3 days. So here we go. Entering Megacon. Official merch. They have a bunch of comics over here as you walk in. Oh, that's cool.
These are exclusives, though, because these are just fan exposures. Generally, here's the exclusive.
Oh, okay. Oh, this Transformers is badass.
Yeah, that is cool. This isn't a...
Dude, I might get this Transformers. This is freaking cool as hell.
How is that an exclusive? This is cool. Gold foil. Oh, this one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Snyder.
It's not Capullo, too, is it?
No. Let me do 1,000 in the trade.
So we're in the first aisle, and it's pretty packed.
Right, so if we could split it, our phones die. Let's me buy this Spawn jacket.
Spawn jacket, yep, got it. But let's try to stick together.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. No, totally. But
Yeah.
if for some reason, I'm here or there.
Right. Oh, this is a whole bunch of Mafex.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, look at this. Look at this amazing Yamaguchi Venom. It's like
It's insane.
cool stuff. Armando's.
I'm not really looking. I was just while you were looking at those.
Oh, okay. Just amazing Spider-Mans.
Yeah, just to kind of get a...
This is mostly a record booth.
Yeah. And we keep moving?
Yeah. Don't you have that?
I do, yeah.
Oh, here's some. Wow. Oh, that Death Star. Signed by McFarlane.
Yeah, I think...
How much?
$250.
Okay.
For silk?
How much?
$150. You know I'm gonna, what was this? $98, $150.
Oh, wow.
These are not terrible prices at all. That's fucking neat.
Oh, there's some good wrestling back here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got some great wrestling back here.
Oh man, that one's cool.
How much was that?
$260.
Kind of want to get back here.
Oh yeah, I'm not checking. Oh, back in here.
Some cool Hasbros.
Oh, check it.
400.
For a 9.8 or is that 10? No, 1.
Yeah. Oh, Luther Superpowers.
And lots. Spawn is expensive.
Do some Motu. Wow. Oh, I got the 2 bad. 115. Yeah.
That Punisher was $100.
It's pretty busy. A lot of different kind of stuff here. It's not just toys and comics. Just a nice eclectic variety. Tons of Star Wars. Wow. Like a wall of Black Series. This is cool. Amazingly, I probably have every single one of them. But cool to see. Some Hot Toys up there, the Ghost, Millennium Falcon.
I get a ton of those.
Holy cow. Yeah. That is badass. Cat's Lair. Transforming trailer. It goes into transforming time that I have.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah. That's the
What's in that case? Are those just like...
yeah, they're just mythic legions. Wrestling wall. Very cool. Wow. I've never seen this in person. That is awesome. Terminator. Oh, wow. I used to love those battle packs. I had the two main ones. I sold them off a long time ago. Regret it. Big regret. But what are you gonna do? Toy Biz. All those Marvel Legends. I always thought that Taskmaster looked really good. Cage looks good. Actually, they all do. He's about to get his autograph.
It should be on the far side, but we can check with the ocean.
Gonna get him to sign this. This looks phenomenal. So excited to have this. Wow. Looks beautiful. WWE Superstars, the Street Profits. At least the back of Angelo Dawkins. And Montez Ford walking around in the white hat. It's pretty cool. Todd McFarlane. Oh my God, the Todd Father. Holy cow. Legends right here. Legends. Look at this toy booth. Super Sevens. Star Wars. Look at all these loose Marvel Legends, McFarlane's, Black Series, Classifieds.
Tomorrow we'll just scout. Yeah, they're kicking us out, but we thought we'd wait till they physically restrain
wrestling.
us. No,
So we are on day 2 of Megacon right now, and we are heading to CGC because we got some books signed yesterday. And they said to go first thing in the morning because that's the best time to go. So that's what we're doing. We're going to submit the books that we got signed yesterday. And yeah, that's our first business of the day.
come back here. I don't know. Are these convention exclusives?
Looks like it's all like Taylor Swift.
Jenny, any interest?
No. Although I know somebody that would have interest, but no.
I don't know if these are exclusives.
We might have some cool stuff though. That's
Oh, yeah,
nice.
some is for the well, Mike, you get one free over here, so.
Red Hulk, Batman, regular Hulk, Kylo Ren. Oh, Luke Ferrigno Hulk. Let's see, what do we got here? Some vintage toys. Big Routh toys. Lots and lots of Black Series. Seeing if there's anything I need. Amazingly not.
Where you want to go? I think he's walking down this way, so we haven't been down that way, I think. This way? Sorry.
Mecca in there.
I guess they were releasing on the card. Yeah. For the card? Yeah, it's the guy in the ladder there.
It's the new one. That lightning lab looks pretty cool. Transformers. Alright, I'm going to head over to the signature area and see if I can find my Supermans, or at least get an idea of when they'll be there. There's Brandon Routh, Superman from Superman Returns. Oh my god, that's so awesome. I'm gonna get a pic and autograph. He seems like the nicest guy. Like he's really spending time with everybody. Oakland. There's Dean Cain. So cool.
How you doing, Tom? Yes, he's the Superman that is on time. Listen here, we're gonna do this, and then
I didn't want to just wait for these other slackers. I want to get the party started, right?
Tom, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. You are Superman to a whole generation of fans without even having to put on the suit, which is incredible. And also, the one thing that I loved most about your show was the father-son relationship with Jonathan and Clark. Talk to me about working and cultivating that relationship with John Schneider.
Well, it was actually really cool because I knew who John was from growing up with Dukes of Hazzard. But it wasn't until like the second or third season he really did take me under his wing because I really didn't know what I was doing. And that whole like hand on the shoulder thing, that was actually John talking to Tom a lot of times. And I remember it was like season 2, season 3, he goes, you know, I used to be on the television show myself. And I'm like, yeah, Dukes of Hazzard. He's like, you know that? I'm like, yeah. He goes, why didn't you say anything? He's like, I've been too nervous. But he really tried to help me and protect me and guide me. And I think that carried over to the Clark thing, because it could have been really easy for Clark to be like, I'm not listening to you, but it really just didn't feel like the right dynamic. So he's great. I still love seeing him. I love the guy.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, but growing up, you weren't the biggest Superman fan, correct?
I mean, I watched the Chris movies.
Sure.
I mean, like when people say Superman, that's what I think of. But I wasn't like a comic book guy or any of that. So I think that helped me playing Clark, because Clark didn't know who he was going to be.
Well, the only reason I mentioned that is because now you're a dad. Talk to me about how your relationship with Clark and Superman has evolved after becoming a dad and letting the dust settle after Smallville.
I don't think I could play that naive anymore. If you know what I mean, that'd be like real acting. But no, I think I appreciate the Jonathan Clark relationship probably more than I did at the time.
Sure.
No, it's really great. I mean, my boys think I'm Superman, so that's all I need.
That's incredible. I was listening to...
Wow, we were just talking about you.
Oh, Brandon Routh, Tim Daly, Tyler Heckman, and George Boomer. Here we go, Superman in the house. Get on the floor, Tyler. I can't believe all these people came to see Tom. They really do cast the Superman. Like, I'm 6 foot even, I feel like. I'm the shortest person on this stage. You're definitely. All right, we have the full Superman here. How you guys doing, gentlemen?
I was just surprised that all these people came to see just Tom Welling.
Me too, by the way. Yeah, there's family here. There you go.
That's why you've been out here before us.
Right? Yeah.
We said that
I wasn't as happy to see you as I thought. We're having a great time.
The Tom and Joe Show. The role of Superman comes with a lot of responsibility and fan expectation. For each of you, how did you prepare for the role mentally, and what was the most challenging aspect of getting into the character's head? And we'll start with you, George.
Pardon?
We'll start with you, George.
I'll start with the boy over here. I can barely hear you. No, let's see. I didn't want to think about it too much because it would have freaked me out. As strong as I had the superhero universe. I thought of my older brother, who was an Eagle Scout and is now an orthopedic surgeon. So I sort of thought, what would my brother sound like? And that's where I went. I didn't want to complicate things. So.
Tyler?
I kind of always thought to give him a little bit of imposter syndrome. I think everybody kind of experiences that in a certain way. So yeah, he can do all these things, but there's still, he is an alien living amongst humans. So there's still that element of imposter in a way that you kind of have to deal with. So that kind of humbled him for me and made him very relatable in the sense of I was almost almost embarrassed of being Superman. The idea of the name. So we actually in the flashback episode, we had the line where she says, how did you know this was happening? I said, oh, my hearing. And at first I said my super hearing. And I asked her, sure, can we just say my hearing? And then she says, hearing? I go, well, my super hearing. That's just kind of an aside. And then so when I leave at the end of that scene, they go, who was that? She goes, that's Superman. So she kind of gives the name. And so we kind of playing with that a little bit. It was it grounded him for me and made it more relatable. So.
Tim?
Can I tell a slightly off-color story?
Absolutely. That's what we're here for, man.
So you can compare it.
I sort of, modeled things, or I could not get out of my mind Christopher Reeve, because he was my Superman.
Same here.
Al Roker. Remember Al Roker? Of course. Al Roker came to interview me when I was doing the show, and this woman who was interviewing me said, Al was interviewing me, sorry. And he said, so what is it like doing the voice of Superman? And I said, well, it's interesting because he's always getting smashed, with stuff, and girders and trains, and electrocuted and laser beam and all this stuff. And I said, so the majority of my work is actually a lot of grunting, straining, screaming, and yelling noises. And I said, come to think of it, it's a little disconcerting to think that the children of America have a pretty good idea what I sound like in bed.
Really bathroom.
Where do you set Beth in the bathroom?
And the woman from Warner Brothers who was there was like, cut. And they sent me a very nice letter asking me to please desist from saying things like that.
Brandon, I'm sorry you had to hear that.
Oh, my. I'm over it now. And you're not wrong. It's just a thought that goes through my head sometimes. About me? So before I'm to admit that. What was the question?
Yes, the question was the responsibility of fan expectations. How did you prepare for the role mentally to get to Superman 10 and Clark 10?
There's no short answer to that, but I trusted in that I was given the job and the opportunity, and the way it came to me was very much I kind of saw what was happening. Felt like I was making it happen at the time, and maybe in some way I wasn't. And so I was continually preparing myself through the 7-8 month process of getting cast, and Chris always was who I modeled the character after before it was the script that it was, back when it was another version of the script. I had the same core and the same heart, so I felt that, I guess, strongly enough, and I trusted in whatever that was that I couldn't put to words, the energy that Chris, that I received from him in the role, and went with that as best I could, and then just tried to learn about the world as a 25-year-old.
How about you, Pete?
You were 25. I was 26 when I did that.
Yeah.
I was terrified. It was terrifying for me because Christopher Reeve, as Tim mentioned, and Brandon, it was my Superman 100%. I grew up with him and watching him fly. When I heard they were going to do a television version of it, I was terrified. But this is going to suck, right? They won't be able to do anything. We won't have the effects. This is going to be awful. This is before all of these other superhero shows have been on, so it's been a long time since there'd been something like that on television. And the last one was George Reeves' version, and I didn't want to make that one as much at that current day. But I liked his Clark Kent. So fortunately for my version, the version that we had, Deborah Drothermine created a great situation where it was about Lois and Clark and a different thing. I was able to just sort of hide myself in that script. It's way too much to think you're going to be playing Superman. I mean, I got the job and I went skiing like 2 days later with my buddy. We had a trip planned. We're going up the lift, it's quiet, the snow's falling. And he just looks at me and goes, dude, for the rest of your life, someone's going to call you Superman. What does that feel like? And I was like, I don't know. I have no idea. You can never know until you get thrown into the fire. Obviously, all of us have experienced that, but it's pretty amazing. It's something that people are like, does it bother you? People call you Superman? I'm like, are you kidding? I've been called a lot worse. And I'll say that in a heartbeat. So I'm honored to be up here with these guys and honored to be able to play the character.
Yeah, it's a dream come true for me. You guys are shaped.
For me, to be honest, it was pretty quick. When they finally let me read the script after signing an NDA, I realized that this was not a show about Superman, it was a show about Clark Kent. And I've said this story before, but I'd actually written into my contract that I wouldn't put on the suit because I wanted to stay Clark. And I wanted to tell that story, so I was able to just not think of it. Clark didn't know who he was going to be, and I didn't know what I was doing, so it was kind of great. Yeah. And it was probably episode 5. They wrote something where Clark puts a suit on, and it was a business affairs call of like, no, we're not doing it. And I think if Clark would have put the suit on in the first 3 seasons, we'd have never gotten 10.
I completely agree with you.
We kind of had to do that, and I meet some people who come to the table and they're dressed, and they're like, how come you didn't want to put the suit on? And I hate breaking the heart being like, I never wanted to. And apparently they're tight. Yeah. They don't breathe well. Tyler, I think that was your big one thing you changed, right? You mentioned that?
The suit doesn't breathe well?
That's great. we did one of these a couple weeks ago. They said, what's the one thing you changed about your character? And you're like, the fit of the suit? Yeah, that's all I was referring to. Sorry.
It's easier to fight in sweats. That's all I'm saying.
Dean,
You don't feel as powerful.
Dean, the New Adventures of Lois and Clark really heavily focused on the relationship with Clark and Lois. Can you talk about your version of Clark and how you wanted to make him stand out compared to
Pretty much the same story, but I have a different face, so it's a different guy. But continuing the same vibe and the fact that.
Although you do look pretty similar, I'm just gonna say.
Well, also,
put it out there.
and sometimes sounds similar. And that helps. Yeah, so, but again, read like rule number 1 or whatever, which is, I was always going to be like Chris, even if it was some other, it would be some other version of that slightly altered Superman, because I wasn't playing Chris, I wasn't playing Superman. You're playing the feeling, the love when you're Superman. I mean, I didn't know what that was when I was 25. When I reprised my role when I was 40, that helped because I had been fathered and I had understood a lot more things about life. And I felt more worthy of myself and more worthy of myself in the role, and able to be a better conduit and tell the archetype and the story of hero and Superman. And that continues to grow. So anyway, I had that spark then, and that's where Clark came out of. The only conscious shift I thought I had about Clark was I didn't want him to necessarily just be bumbling and be clumsy. Like, I had to figure out a reason why he's like that. He's not putting on an act, it's because he's excited to human. He's a human. He's getting very excited. Listen, I'm a human who didn't human that much until he moved out to got college and then moved out to LA. Like, I lived a kind of like, quiet life. And so it's fun to human, as long as we do it safely and with love. So absolutely. That just means interact with the world and be a part of it and see how cool we all are.
Are you guys down to play a fun little game we have set up?
Sure.
All right. Maybe. It's pretty easy. So it's called Pixelated Showdown. In Pixelated Showdown, you'll guess the iconic scene from your show as they sharpen from blurry to clear. The audience can shout out hints. So you guys, I think you do. All right.
It's like a new debate. That's my headshot.
Well, it's interesting, that's for sure.
That's my headshot. That's what it says.
That's shirt off, yeah. Can we get that a little bit more clear? Oh, and we get clear. Brandon knew what it was. So was this the first time you put the suit on for like promo?
No. The first time it was in public.
Oh.
And I had this big like blue cape cloth thing that I'd have to wear around the Fox Studios Australia.
I think it's a little harder if I haven't guessed which scene it is. So let's go to our second.
Storyboarded this shot on purpose, and the crane was going to come in, and I would run up to the crane, and the crane was going to stop, and I was going to stop, and if we didn't, we'd crash into each other. And the wardrobe people were like, so you're not going to see the full suit? Like, yeah, but, well then why were we going to build a whole suit? I mean, they got to be thousands of dollars. And so it ended up being some version, and not necessarily a crop top.
Kind of a onesie there with sleeves.
Pretty sure there weren't sleeves. Just what you see. And that was it.
Pro tip cosplayers, if you want to do Clark Kent, do the little ones with no sleeves.
Yeah.
I have a question actually about this suit, because you were handed a suit from Jonathan Kent when you were Superman to fly out. Was that a real suit?
I think, sorry, I don't remember. Probably no. I don't know if they may have said that they took it from one of the other movie sets. Maybe.
That's similar to mine, so
Maybe
it might have been, yeah. I don't know.
It might have been.
Interesting. All right, let's move on to the next one, which...
Two scenes, and then he would leave, and then I would do my side with someone else. And we did the first scene, And then they said, okay, bring him nice. And he goes, well, what about Tom? I mean, obviously he didn't point. I mean, that's not a bad joke. Sorry. I'm not making fun of it. Because one thing he didn't do is let you you didn't feel sorry for him at all. He was actually telling jokes the whole time. We had a riot. He was cracking me up. But he was like, no, I'm not leaving. And long story short, it got to a point about 8 hours into the day, and they turned around filming my scenes with him. And his nurse, while returning, was like, if you don't come with me in 15 minutes, I'm calling the police. Because she could. Like, he had to leave. And he looked at me and he goes, they're always telling me what to do. And then we just had a really great banter. I had a lot of fun with him, and it was so cool that this scene was this brilliant scientist who knew more than Clark and was downloading Clark this information, and here I was with this brilliant man being downloaded with so much information. But yeah, I walked away from it wanting to be a better person, that's for sure.
That's absolutely.
Yeah.
This madness. It is insanely packed today. Karate Kid outfit. Bad. Oh, sweet. Star Wars #1 up there. And a Walking Dead #1. It's the NFL robots.
I want one.
Some cool unique items, some nice t-shirts, some shadow boxes, t-shirts, just a little bit of everything here at the con. It's weird, there's like no prices on this. Two G.I. Joe Haslabs. Shredder. So just picked this up. This was a book that I've been wanting for a long time. I love this cover. One of my all-time favorites. And finally have the original. I actually got it for $175. Some great dealers here. Just amazing stuff. Just amazing Fantasy 15. Amazing Spider-Man #1. Just some of the greatest comics ever. What a con. All right, guys. So done with day 2 at Megacon. And I am going back to the con tomorrow morning briefly, but I'm not going to do any footage as we're just doing some CGC submissions and going to a panel. So not much going on tomorrow. So I figured I'd wrap this up tonight. But I'm going to show you guys what I've picked up during this incredible convention. And this has to go down as probably one of the best cons I think I've ever been to. It was really tremendous. A lot of great vendors, both from toys, comics, and even video games. The video games vendors had just a ton of stuff. It was really nice to see. But I picked up actually really all comics and signatures. So here we go. So this Transformers book, which was an exclusive to the con. This G.I. Joe book is just really cool looking. This Wolverine, it's Tyler Kirkham. Looks incredible. And then I got a bunch of Gabriel Dell'Otto books. I actually submitted 3 to CGC that I got signed by him. Let's see, this Batman. Incredible. This Superman is sick. Got this pair of Megatron and Optimus Prime. Oh, Prime is upside down. Sorry. Just really cool. It's a nice Gambit. And this one actually, it was not... who was this Gambit? Do you remember? We saw... Who was it? It was Nakayama. Yeah, David Nakayama. And this was just a freebie somebody was handing out. This, they were giving out at the con exclusive booth. And this was the big purchase. This was a book that I've been wanting to get for a long time. Batman 608. It would be very cool if I could pair it someday with this one, with all the SIGs. Maybe someday I can get all the Batman to sign this one. But Brandon Routh, Tyler Hoechlin, Dean Cain, and Tom Welling. Just incredible. And also yesterday, I got Mr. Johnny Lawrence himself, William Zabka. So now I have Zabka and Machio on this one. All right, guys, that is it. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed all the footage from the con. It was, like I said, it was a phenomenal con. We had an absolute blast, exhausting, tons of walking, tons of waiting in line, but all well worth it. So anyways, till next time, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Take care.